lets Alice know that Wonderland used to be ruled by the White Queen, played by Anne Hathaway, until the Red Queen summoned her Jabberwocky to destroy everything. Oh, the heartbreaking tragedy. If only there was some sort of warning they could have had to prepare them for this. Like a calendar that predicts the future and is never ever wrong. Wait a minute. Didn't they say that thing predicts whatever's gonna happen?
It tells of each and every day since the beginning.
Well, why the were they just partying then? Did they miss the part where we all burn and get our fried? You'd think somebody would put a bookmark on that section, wouldn't you? That White Queen's doing a heck of a job.
Hold on tight, please.
So the Hatter sees the guards coming, thus swings Alice away on his hat, which, by the way, even then she looks disinterested. Oh no, I guess. And he's taken away. Thankfully, one of the guards' dogs finds Alice, but she discovers that he's a spy for the rebellion.
Would your name be Alice, by any chance?
Yes, but I'm not the one that everyone's talking about.
The Hatter would not have given himself up just for any Alice.
Yes, that would be mad. And nothing in his name indicates he'd be anything like that.
We're going to rescue him.
That is not foretold.
I've been accused of being Alice and of not being Alice, but this is my dream. I'll decide where it goes from here.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Alice this whole time, I mean like 80% of the movie, totally believes that this is all a dream.
This is my dream. This is my dream. It's only a dream. I'm still dreaming. Wake up from this dream. Time can be funny in dreams. Sometimes I forget that this is all a dream. I would dream up someone who's half mad.
You know, I think there's only so long a person tells themselves that they're asleep before reality starts to take effect. I mean, the dream excuse can only get you so far before your other senses start to kick in. For example, oh, it's okay, it's just a dream. Oh, it's okay, it's just a dream. It's okay, it's just a dream! You see? On top of that, if she does think this is all a dream, what does she care what happens to the Hatter? What does she care if it's her fault? She has no obligations in a dream. Though, then again, maybe that would explain why her performance is about as invested as Willy Wonka saving a bratty child.
I'll decide where it goes from here.
If you diverge from the path...
I make the path.
Stop, don't come back.
So she makes it to the castle where, again, in a PG film, she climbs over the severed heads in a bloody river of the Queen's victims. A Disney picture! And eventually comes across the captured White Rabbit.
I've come to rescue the Hatter.
You're not rescuing anyone being the size of a gerbil.
Would you have any more of that cake that made me grow before?
Actually, I might have some left.
And this is another reason why Wonderland doesn't work as a strategic world of war. There's cake that makes you grow huge. Whoever has that battle over. You win. Mass produce that and make an army of King Kongs. You could squash this place like a Lego city faster than you can say curiouser and curiouser. It's like if Malice and I had some of that cake and we suddenly came across a threat.
I am the terrible jibber jabber, writer of these terrible movies. Allow me to make your lives more needlessly complicated, oh dear.
But no, rather than kill the Queen in her tracks, even though she's a giant, she makes up a story about who she is. Why? What's the purpose? She could bite her head off like a animal cracker.
I've been growing an awful lot lately, so I've come to you hoping you might understand what it's like.
Anyone with a head that large is welcome in my court.
Okay, whatever. So the Queen takes her in, and Alice eventually tries to break the Hatter out, as well as find the sword to defeat the Jabberwocky.
Tweedles.
Alice! How do you do again?
Where's the rabbit?
Over there.
Oh, that's Wonderland. Nothing makes any sense. Wait, now they're taking her to where he is. But you just pointed in the opposite direction. Are you taking him there or are you not taking him there? What? Is there any consistency in this place? Should we just rename the characters the Kinda Mad Hatter? Should we change the phrase to just a little quirky but still totally reasonable as a March hare? But before she can get the sword, she has to deal with this weird scene with the leader of the guards, played by Crispin Glover.
I like you, I like largeness.
Wow, Burton's really working through some issues with this movie, isn't he? Next she'll be telling me he has a thing about rats. So she does find the sword and manages to befriend the Beast by giving him his eye back. She's unable to save the Hatter, but the Beast does carry her over to Epcot Gondor, where the White Queen awaits.
Come with me.
You're late for your soup, you bosom.
Could use some salt.
That's my attempt at being funny. It'd be funnier if I was funny. Wait a minute, they're shrinking her down? Why the are they shrinking her down? She has to fight a gigantic Jabberwocky, remember? Did we forget our little stomp talk? Come on, guys, this makes about as much sense as the Cheshire Cat wanting to help the rebellion but uses his godlike powers just to save one person.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, come on! He could turn into Godzilla and squash the place if he wanted! There's a bajillion things he could have done here! He could win this war in a blink of a eye! But hey, like he said...
I never get involved in politics.
Only when bad writing dictates so.
Goodbye.
So the Mad Hatter is saved, but they still had to figure out how Alice is going to defeat the Jabberwocky on the day of battle. Which, of course, shouldn't matter, seeing how even now she still thinks this is all a dream. This plot thread has a running time past 5 seconds of tolerance.
Still believe this is a dream, do you?
Of course. This has all come from my own mind.
Okay, honey, no offense, but you're way too boring to think up anything as creative as this. I think the most your mind could dream up is a paperclip on a rice cake. That's how exciting your imagination gets. And yet, in a confusing scene, even though they all know it has to be Alice, they ask who'll stand up and fight for the White Queen.
Who will step forth to be champion for the White Queen?
That would be I.
No. Me.
I'll do it.
You have very poor evaporating skills. I should be the one.
Oh, that's very big of you, seeing how you never get involved in politics. Ghost Dad has more consistency than you. But then they remind themselves of what they already know. Alice has to do it.
The choice must be yours. Because when you step out to face that creature, you will step out alone.
Why? Because some magic toilet paper told you so? Why does any of this have to be this way? It doesn't. It's total For a world that's apparently supposed to have no rules, there sure do seem to be a lot of rules. But wait, it gets better. The caterpillar reveals the great big shocking twist. Are you ready? Oh man, this is gonna blow your mind. Are you ready? It's so shocking, you're not gonna believe. Okay, you ready? Here we go, here we go. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Alice, this whole time, was Alice.
Going to die.
Wait, what?
Alice at last.
What do you call yourself?
Alice.
Whoa, wait a minute, movie. So, are you suggesting that the Alice from Alice in Wonderland this whole time was Alice from Alice in Wonderland? Whoa, I mean, whoa, this movie is pushing the envelope of cinematic twist. I mean, who could have seen that coming? Next you'll be telling me that Clark Kent all this time was Clark Kent. Man, this movie knows how to keep you on your toes.
It wasn't a dream at all. It was a memory. This place is real. So are you, and so is the Hatter.
Ding, ding, ding! What do we have for her, Johnny?
You were just as dim-witted the first time you were here. You called it Wonderland, as I recall.
Wait a minute, what was that line?
You were just as dim-witted the first time you were here. You called it Wonderland, as I recall.
Well, if it's not called Wonderland, what is it called?
Crimes against Underland.
Underland.
So let me get this straight. In Alice in Wonderland, the story based on the Lewis Carroll novel, Alice is not a girl, she's a woman. She's not in Wonderland, she's returning to Wonderland. And Wonderland itself, in fact, isn't Wonderland at all, it's called Underland. Underland? That sounds like a made-up world in a Fruit of the Loom commercial. I'm sorry, how the am I supposed to take an adaptation seriously when you can't even get one word of the title right?